Well guys, by now you should know the rules of 2025 that even if Nintendo doesn't want to give us the official reveal for their next generation system, we're still going to get some stuff about the Switch 2, and that is exactly what we have here today, as there's actually a big event that's going on right now known as CES, and this is an event that always happens in January, and it's a big tech related event where lots of companies like Sony and Nvidia and stuff gather and they make some cool announcements. And obviously Nintendo isn't going to show up there themselves, however we do have a lot of like accessory makers and things that do show up, and as a result there's actually been a lot of things Nintendo Switch 2 related that have been coming out, and we even have some other leaked stuff here too, so there's definitely some new things to talk about, so I figured I would and give you guys my thoughts. Alright, so the first thing that we have here is a post from Laura K. Dale, and you guys might recall that Laura K. Dale used to be a leaker back for the Nintendo Switch during the NX days, and they actually ended up getting a good amount of things correct, and I don't think that they really leak anything anymore. However, they did make this post here today saying, "This is a new photo I have received from a trusted source showing a Switch 2 dock, featuring visible input and output voltage information, other information obscured. In addition, I have learned that the Switch 2 ships with a 60-watt charger for use with the dock." And so we can see right here in the image, it has input and output information, 20 volts, 15 volts. And yeah, I mean, the first thing that you can probably notice right away is just looking at this image. This image is very, very similar to what Next Handheld had posted back on Christmas. And so this is that infamous Reddit leaker who was saying that they had access to the final version of the Switch 2. And yeah, if we're now getting this from Laura K. Dale and it's looking very similar to this, yeah, I guess this is actually ending up to be real now. And I know I talked about this being fake, and I think a lot of people thought that this was going to be fake too, but I guess this really is going to be the real Nintendo Switch 2 dock. So I mean, what can I say besides perhaps I treated you too harshly, because I guess this is actually going to be the real dock, and I guess there is probably some type of cover that's maybe missing here because it just feels like it's so kind of naked, like it's just visible here, like there's supposed to be something that goes over it, and we've seen mock-ups where like we have like a covering that goes over it for the wires and stuff to come out. If we have something like that, then I feel like it makes a lot more sense, but yeah, it seems like that is going to be real. And they did mention here in the post that it's going to have a 60-watt charger, which was also rumored for a while that there's going to be a significant increase in terms of the wattage for how much the dock is going to be using, as I think the current Nintendo Switch right now has a 37-watt charger, so you can see it's almost double the amount of wattage that you're going to be getting out of the Switch 2 dock, and that should show you how much performance this thing is going to have and how much juice this thing needs to run. And so I guess this other image here that Next Hand also posted about the system is now going to end up being real too. And I remember when I first saw this just looked so fake to me too, with how the Nintendo logo was upside down, this plus symbol on the left side, like it just looks so off. But I mean, if the dock ended up being real, then I guess maybe this could be the system itself too. And I mean, if this is going to be it, then I guess that is just how it is, because you know what they say, reality is often disappointing. Why am I quoting Thanos so much in this video, man? I don't know. But like, I guess this is going to be real too if they ended up getting the dock correct. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's what we're going to have to see when Nintendo does the reveal. Maybe this could be like a prototype version or just one that's kind of early and not like the final version that we're going to get in our hands. But I guess we'll have to see when we get that reveal. Alright, but here is some of the bigger stuff, because like I said, CES is going on right now and a lot of tech companies are giving big announcements and reveals. I think just a day or two ago, Nvidia announced the brand new RTX 50 series GPUs, and so even though Nintendo themselves isn't there, we do have a lot of accessory manufacturers and other companies that make products for Nintendo systems that are there, and they're just straight up giving up a lot of information about the Switch 2 and just showing a lot of mock-ups and diagrams and things like that. So we can see all of that through the images, and that's what we've got here, as Pori Leaks is basically compiling all of that here, which we can see. So yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 images coming out from CES of 2025. This isn't obviously like the real Nintendo Switch 2, but it is a mock-up of exactly what you can kind of expect, and I guess this is kind of what the system is going to be like now. And I know some people may be wondering about like what the bezels were going to be like, so if this is looking like the exact kind of dimensions and what the system is going to be, then yeah, maybe we're going to be seeing something where you're going to kind of have maybe a thicker bezel on like the right and left side, but maybe on the top and bottom it's not going to be as thick, and this is kind of how the system is going to be in terms of putting the system in handheld mode. And we can see besides that, it looks very similar to the current Nintendo Switch. All the buttons are the same. We've got that brand new C button here at the bottom, which we still don't know fully exactly what that's for, but yeah, this is lining up pretty well. We also have a supposed image here of the Joy-Cons, and this is actually looking really interesting if you ask me, because from just looking at this from this angle here, I don't know how true this is, but just looking at it, it kind of looks like there is a little bit of like space here for the trigger, which gives me a little bit of faith that maybe these are going to be analog triggers, man. That would make me so happy if these are going to be analog triggers that can be like pressure sensitive depending on how you hold the stick or like the trigger down basically for when you're playing a game. But then again, I think other rumors and stuff have stated that they're not going to be analog and they're just going to be digital, like one button triggers, just like how we have them on the current Switch. But man, if they turned out to be analog triggers, that's going to make me very happy. But yeah, this is pretty much an image here of what the Joy-Cons are going to be like. And this is also matching up what we've kind of heard about with how one of them is going to be blue and one of them is going to be orange. So yeah, that's looking more and more likely now as well. And here are some images from some of the accessories that are coming out for the Nintendo Switch 2. So obviously these aren't official, and like this thing right here for the Nintendo Switch 2 in terms of the logo is probably not real either. This is all placeholder stuff, but we can kind of just see their pamphlets here and kind of their documents going over some of the accessories to expect for the system. And you can kind of see this is what it's going to be like in terms of some of the controllers. Here's kind of like one of those Joy-Con grip accessories that you can expect. And obviously these aren't going to be all buttons that Nintendo is going to have on their official version, but this is kind of like what third parties do with like having turbo buttons and things like that. So you can just kind of get an idea for some of the things to expect, because I'm sure these are probably going to be available at launch for when the Switch 2 comes out. Obviously, like this image right here, this is literally one of those fan-made logos for the Switch 2. So it's not like real images for like what exactly the system is going to be like, but these accessories themselves are going to be the real deal for what to expect. So yeah, that's pretty much all the stuff that is now starting to come out. And lastly, I just want to talk about this post right here from somebody who claimed to have seen the Nintendo Switch 2's OS or like home screen or UI. And so this post was made a while ago, but nobody really ever like thought to give it any attention because they were just saying a whole bunch of random stuff and they didn't have any proof. However, when that Joy-Con leak that happened just a day or two ago came out, and we saw that there's going to be like an optical sensor on it and that the Joy-Con might be used as like a mouse or something with Switch 2 games, people started going back to this because they said here inside of their post, in one screenshot there is a pointer that is being used to select Mario Kart 8, so I assume the Joy-Cons may have pointer controls, kind of assuming that maybe there's going to be some point and click type of feature for the Joy-Cons. And now because of that, people are going back to this. And so in this post right here, it basically says here, yeah, a few devs have limited access and I've been able to see the images. First off, the OS is basically a modernized Wii U menu. It has 10 row tiles on display at once, which is a big upgrade from the original Switch. Animated backgrounds and menu music return. I only saw it in dark mode, by the way. You can tint your icons to change color of them. All black and red goes pretty hard. Surprisingly, Vidmio is a legit application on the UI. I was skeptical at first, but it does seem to be real. No one was able to test any of the bottom applications outside of the Nintendo eShop. Apparently, it gets stuck on the loading screen. The loading screen reminds me of something from Nickelodeon. There are 6 tabs on the UI as well, so I assume you can have 60 games on your home screen at once, and because of how it's designed, you can quickly scroll through your entire library. I'm genuinely happy with the layout of the UI. It fixes all of the issues when it came to finding your games. It basically solved the problem by going back to what the Wii U and 3DS did, but whatever. And then it says here, also your username is displayed at the top left of the screen next to your profile picture. It doesn't look like the OS allows multiple accounts at once, so I assume there will be a login feature. Yeah, that's about it. If I'm able to try to get images and share with the mods for verified proof, but this OS is genuinely an upgrade over the original Switch. Like I said, it looks like a modern Wii U and 3DS menu mixed with the iOS and Samsung menus. So yeah, a lot of this post does sound honestly really, really good if this turns out to be true. I'm one of the people who really did love the Wii U's UI. I just thought that the UI was designed poorly in the sense of like, it shouldn't take you like 2 minutes to open system settings because the loading and all of that was kind of whack, but the actual design of how the icons looked, how like the Mii's ran around on the home screen with like a Wara Wara Plaza and they all like cluttered around, I thought that was really cool. I liked how the icons just looked and everything. It was all colorful, it was very vibrant, and I think it just looked really sleek and nice. So if this is what we're going to be going back to with the Switch 2, that's going to make me so happy. I was even thinking about making a video about the Switch 2 UI at some point, so maybe I'll do that before the reveal happens, because I did actually make a mock-up of a Switch 2 UI on stream, so I could talk a little bit about that. But Yeah, I mean, this is sounding really good. The thing about Vidmeo here that somebody said here is Nintendo is launching a built-in social media for Switch 2 called Vidmeo. I don't want to share too much about how I got this information because it could lead to someone getting into serious trouble. Essentially, this will become somewhat similar to what Miiverse was on the Wii U. Users can share screen-recorded content and make posts. I haven't seen it, but it's apparently an app icon that looks similar to that of YouTube, but it's green. The app is designed to be in the style of TikTok, apparently with a lot of vertical scrolling to view content. Yes, I'm serious. There will be a direct messaging feature and community options for a feeling of social connection. I've also been told that the C button is related to community features of this app. That's all we really know about this thing so far, but supposedly Vidmeo will be available day one on the Switch 2 with a stripped down mobile phone version releasing sometime later. So this is sounding kind of cool too, because the other leak mentioned stuff about Vidmeo, and that's what this person was saying here, is that essentially it's going to be kind of like a Miiverse for the Switch 2, where you're going to be able to share like your screen recordings, you're going to be able to share screenshots and stuff, I guess, and you might even be able to access them from your phone. So that does sound kind of cool, and I think that that's something that people really have been asking for. I'd love to see like a community feature return on the Switch 2, like how we had with Miiverse, because Miiverse was honestly amazing with how people could just help each other out, find new friends on there, direct message people for help with games, and have spoiler tags and stuff. It really was kind of ahead of its time, and it was just unfortunate it was on a system that didn't sell that well. So if they can bring something like this now to an entire Switch generation where everybody is like really like into the Switch right now, it would be awesome. So I hope this turns out to be real, but I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, that is pretty much the latest information that we have right now about Nintendo's next generation system. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely gonna have some more videos talking about the Switch 2, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below, let me know what you think about this. How are you feeling about these images that are coming out now? How do you feel about this dock, which is most likely gonna end up being real now? And how do you feel about the potential UI and things that could be on the Switch's home screen? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about it, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero to be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.